Your neighbor's got a nice door, man.
Oh, yes, thank you.
And then you said it in a weird way, like, they really got a nice door. It's like, oh my god. Thanks, mate. Yeah, oh, thanks.
And we're back. Welcome back. We are back. Episode 2, round 2. We made it. We did it. We got over the first one. It was a rough road. It was many attempts. We climbed a mountain to do the first one. That's not. I'm not being metaphorical. We actually did. We did climb.
We'll put some footage of that. That should.
But we did climb a mountain in the first trial. We tried to do a traveling podcast. We thought it was going to be a good idea, but then winter came, and that went out the window with the rest of my hopes and dreams. And then the second one, Miguel hadn't smoked for a couple of weeks, and then he got way too lit, and it really
I went south, bro. I went to sleep.
it went off the rails really quickly. But the last one,
white chicks, and I fell asleep.
That is true. The third one is the one that you just watched, the one that you heard last episode. This is episode 2, so welcome. If you're new here, this is Bien Bluntly, where we get high and talk bien bluntly about whatever we feel about it.
Okay.
This episode, we're going to talk about culture. How do you feel about culture, Miguel?
I like culture, Hey, culture your beef.
Do you feel like you're cultured or no?
I feel like I am, and then I get schooled by somebody who knows more about my own culture. But it's usually someone of my culture, so it's not like, I don't know, I'm just learning again.
Yeah.
I'm always cool to learn, so I don't mind getting schooled a little bit if it's all in good faith.
Yes, I would agree with that. I feel like I love learning. Learning is probably my favorite thing to do in the entire world, expanding my mind. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about our culture, our specifically Mexican culture, because spoiler alert, we're both Mexican.
Mexican American.
Yes, he is first generation Mexican American. I am not. I am a immigrant from Mexico, Mexican born, and I was brought to the U.S. when I was 4, and grew up in North Carolina. And that's why I hardly have an accent, because I was made fun of when I was in elementary school and tried very hard to get rid of it. So hopefully I have achieved that. I say hopefully, like it's a good thing that I got rid of my accent, but I feel like it's gotten me further in life than if I would have had an accent.
We'll speak on that, because you're kind of right. But at the same time, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. It's always harder for someone who has an accent to get a promotion or to be recognized in, whatever, politics or something. Yeah.
I think I learned that really quickly. I think I've always been too smart for my own good, I think. And I learned that when people think that they're smarter than you, they don't listen to you. So me having an accent immediately turned people away, or made them think that they were smarter than me, even though that I knew that they weren't. Like, I need to fix this now. So I sat there and I did some tongue exercises. That is not a euphemism. I literally stuck a pen down underneath felt like that in my mouth, and I would do the ABCs. I would do whatever it took until I no longer spoke with a thick Mexican accent, because I was not only developing a Mexican accent, I was also developing a Southern accent. So the combination of the two was not good.
Ooh.
Yeah. But it does still come out every once in a while, and like people catch it, and then they make fun of me about it a little bit. Not the yeehaw, the Mexican.
I don't know. Sometimes people like accents for some reason, you know.
I love accents. I think accents are very, very attractive.
So we just had to pause a little bit.
Pause.
There we go.
Yeah, those probably not the best coasters. Anyway, we're back.
I mean, they're coasting.
We're talking about Culture, which is the name of Cardi B's baby. If you did not know.
That actually sounds kind of cool.
But
What's the nickname? Colt?
I would get behind Colt as a nickname.
Colt.
Yeah. Colt.
Ven aquí.
Speaking of Spanish, do you think parents are not, like Hispanic parents, young Hispanic parents, are not teaching their kids Spanish because of laziness or assimilation? They're trying to assimilate to America.
I think it's almost just like more
Convenience?
convenient. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's just more convenient to just speak English, because that's what they speak all the time. But I think it's good to talk to them in Spanish. It was cool to hear that some people, they would purposely only talk Spanish to their kid when they were growing up or whatever.
I would
to
agree.
teach them.
I feel like it's a very helpful skill to have. Like you said, it's a lot about convenience. I have like my siblings, and I feel like oftentimes they started teaching their kids Spanish, and then as more kids came along, they like stopped teaching them, and then it was just like, oh, I know English, so I'm just gonna speak to them in English because that's, they didn't know English in school. That's how they learn or whatever, and it's easier for them to communicate that way. And I feel like my dad didn't want my sister or I to learn Spanish, but then my parents separated, and that was no longer an option because my mom didn't know English, and we had to learn. I actually taught myself how to read and write Spanish because my parents didn't teach me. I also learned a lot of my Spanish from working in retail and like having to help like customers that only spoke Spanish. I would apologize all the time. I'm like, I'm sorry, I forgot my Spanish, or I would have to like use Google Translate a lot. And as time progressed and I like started talking to more, practicing my Spanish more, I feel like now my Spanish is better to the point where I'm like correcting like all my friends, and they get like very, very annoyed with it.
Yeah, I mean, it helps. You can communicate with two different types of people. It opens up your world to different music, because when you understand the words, you kind of want to listen to it more. Because I have songs in my playlist where it's of other genres from different countries speaking different languages, and I rock out to them. I'll sing along. I don't know what they're saying.
Yeah.
I haven't actually gone in to figure out what the lyrics are translated. But when you know the lyrics to a song that you're listening to, and you already like it because of the melodies or whatever, the sound of the singer, it just hits different.
Yeah, not only that, but you also have written songs in Spanish as well. So that's a plus that you have, that you're able to do music both in English and Spanish.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and obviously Spanish is one of the most romantic languages in the world. So
You heard.
Exactly.
One of the least romantic things to say.
Just so you know. And that's, if you didn't know, now you know. Teach your kids Spanish. Don't make them be a no sabo kid. I think that's...
no sabo kid.
That's
the funniest term I heard. Have you ever heard that before? That's my first day ever hearing that shit today.
A no sabo kid?
Yeah, that's a thing.
That's a very popular thing.
I didn't know. That
Yeah.
shit's crazy.
Obviously, to each their own. I'm not telling you how to parent your kid, but it's a very useful skill to have. And if it's just because it's convenient for you not to teach them a language that you know, then that's not okay. I don't know. I think that is part of the reason why we're losing so much of our culture to America. It's because we're not passing along those traditions. Like, my family doesn't celebrate like the Day of the Dead or the El Día de los Reyes Magos. We do sometimes la Rosca de los Reyes or whatever, but then when El Día de la Candelaria, which is when they're supposed to like make the food or whatever, we never do, or we don't do posadas or anything like that. Like, there's a lot of like richness in our culture that I don't get to celebrate or I miss out on, and if I take part in it, I feel like an imposter. Kind of like I get kind of like imposter syndrome, because I'm like, I don't know any of this. It doesn't feel like it's for me.
Yeah, I know what you mean, actually. Because, like, my family doesn't do a lot of that stuff either. We kind of been doing kind of like more Americanized stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, we don't do... Because I guess, like, when I would go a lot to TJ to go see my family, like, they would do parties for, like, everything. Like, every little thing.
Yeah.
Or not even for anything. Like, everyone would just meet up, and then... I don't know. There's a lot of like a sense of community.
Yeah.
And even not just around just my family, just salud. Salud.
Thank you.
Not just around my family. Like in everywhere, like people just know each other.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of warmth in the culture that we have. Like, to me, it just feels like a lot of I don't know, very communal, very like people are more willing to help out there for some reason, I think like crime is crazy with the narco shit.
Yeah.
It's just like the other half is like, I don't know, just like a lot of like, I don't know, happiness. I don't know, I like it.
I can't say that I have experience Mexico, because I haven't been back since I was 4, so it's 23 years from ago, but I do know what you're saying with like how in like a Mexican community there's always people willing to help one another. And the warmth, like even like making food, like I feel like food is a big part of our culture, and like just like making sure that everybody has something to eat, or like
that's
like
the thing.
Making sure everybody's like stays warm and stuff like that. Like, I think that is one of the things that I like a lot about being part of a Hispanic culture. Not even just Mexican, but I feel like it's
like a lot of joking too.
Yeah.
Like joking around.
Yeah, a lot of music
back and forth.
as well.
Yeah. Always trying to have a good time.
Do you think we're doing enough to pass?
Have a good time.
Well, that I mean, I know that we are, but do you think we're doing enough to pass our culture to our nephew? I have 17 nieces and nephews, and 3 great nieces and great nephews. I don't think, like for me, I don't think that I am. I think that's part of the reason why I wanted to, build something like Me Vale Media and Bien Blunt, like something that represents in some sort of way the Hispanic community and the queer community. But no, I don't think that I'm like representing it enough in a way. Like, not I feel the same way with like the gay community, right? I'm like, oh, I'm just, I don't feel like part of it. I just feel like, oh, this is just, something that I happen to identify with, but it's not who represents me, like what represents me.
I know what you mean, but it's like a part of you, I guess,
Yeah.
So, by force, you're kind of part of it, just like with the Latino stuff.
Yeah.
So, I guess that's why you kind of feel it. But, I don't know, maybe we should just do this shit in Spanish. Fuck it.
The entire thing in Spanish?
The whole thing.
I don't think I know that many words
Me
in
neither.
Spanish.
I'll probably like.
We can Google
It'll probably
Translate.
be like 15 minutes.
15 minutes
Going
episode.
back and forth. And then
Well, we'll do a TikTok in Spanish for you guys.
it'll be like Spanglish as fuck.
Yeah. Here's a fun, interesting question I asked one of my friends like years ago. Whenever you think, do you think in Spanish or in English?
Ooh, depends on the circumstance. The times I have gone to Mexico to go visit family, and I come back, yeah, I don't even notice it, but I'm like over here talking in English but thinking in Spanish,
Yeah.
and then I have to readjust. So I guess you kind of you start thinking, if you use one more than the other, you'll start thinking in that language.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why some people kind of forget it.
Yeah.
Because then they can't think in that language either. So how could you speak it?
My go-to is to think in English, because I feel like I have a broader sense of vocabulary in English, so I can communicate better in English. So my go-to is to think in English, but the rare times that I do pray, because I don't.
The times you have prayed.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not a praying person, but whenever I pray, if and ever I do pray, I pray in Spanish, because I don't know how to pray in English. And then if I count in Spanish as well. Which is weird to me. I always count, and then if I count more than once, I'll start counting in English. But if I count, I'll if I'm counting money, I'll count in Spanish.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah, I mean that would probably happen. Like I said, if I was coming back, I honestly sometimes sometimes I'll think in Spanish, but it'll be mostly when I'm upset at myself. Like pinche,
Yeah.
That's the kind of shit.
The thing I did start doing more of is cursing in Spanish. Before I couldn't curse in Spanish at all. I felt very, very a bad person. I don't know,
to me it just felt taboo.
Yeah, that was the word. Yeah.
Cause I don't talk Spanish like that, but I guess the older I've become, the more Spanish I've wanted to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not Spanish, but you know what I mean? More Mexican, more for some reason I'm drawn more to the culture than I was when I was younger.
There's something more savory or more delicious about cursing in Spanish than there is in English.
But I've been I've used it when I'm upset too. It's like well, who am I?
But coming to LA and talking with Spanish speaking almost all of the people that I know here are Spanish speaking, they speak both Spanish and English, bilingual I should say.
There you go.
They curse a lot in Spanish, and I just got comfortable cursing, and now I find it easier to curse. But before I couldn't even say stupid in Spanish. I would say stupid, and it would just be
feel wrong.
It just feels wrong. What?
Who? Yeah, it's like when somebody's trying to use slang with you that they don't usually use.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And it's bro, you just started using that, huh?
Yeah, but yeah.
Thinking in Spanish.
Thinking in Spanish.
I wonder how many people think in Spanish when they're
What are you thinking? What language do you think?
What language do you think?
What is your favorite food from our culture?
Yeah, that shit happened again. My favorite food, bro?
Yeah.
Oh, man, right now? I mean, it's always burritos, bro.
You have a burrito for lunch today.
Microwave, burrito, chop that shit up, put some sauce on it. Some sauce. Honestly, it's still burritos, they're easy. on the go, fucking bean cheese, fucking whatever carne you want, asada. I be on that asada, pastor sometimes. You know what I mean? Nothing too fancy. Some guacamoles and some sauce. You know?
Yeah.
I mean tortas too.
Oh, I love a good torta.
I'm basic, man. I like that. That like quick
Easy?
stuff. Yeah.
Quick and
like,
easy.
I mean, a plate is cool. But I don't know. I feel like I'm always on the go. So something
Yeah.
like that is like easy to just like you can mostly just fucking stand it up. Like, all right.
Honestly, you know, what I have, like, you said a plate, and then I immediately thought about albondigas.
Or like
Meatballs?
the soup.
No. Like, my mom doesn't do them in soup. Well, she does them in soup, but she just, like, serves them, like,
She unsoups them.
unsoups them, yeah. Con some arroz. Oh my god, my
That
mouth
sounds
is
good,
watering.
actually. That sounds pretty good.
And she does them spicy. Now I want some.
But
I should be like, Mom, come make.
man,
My mom lives in Colorado. She's not gonna come.
I'm
I'm gonna have to fly
I miss
to
my
Mexico.
grandma's tortillas, bro.
Oh, some tortillas hechas a mano. Oh.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
My grandma's tortillas were out of this wood.
My mom makes some quesadillas. They're like not like quesadillas like you know people know them. But like
They're
like
not the
the
ones you think.
like deep fried quesadillas. They're pretty bomb. My mom used to have a restaurant in Mexico before she sold it to Chase, her American dream. I guess I don't know what she did.
I thought you meant like just she sold it to Chase, the bank. I was like, damn.
Yeah, my mom is a multimillionaire.
Chase wanted that restaurant, and they're gonna make it a Mexican restaurant called Chase.
Yeah, no. It was very popular apparently. Many people from all over Mexico came or from
To
all
go
over
there?
the state. I don't know. Actually, I was 4, so
Shit.
don't quote me on anything. Also,
Don't call me boy.
a little high and mainly
bluntly.
bluntly. No, bien bluntly.
Bien.
But I think it's
I'm mostly bien.
time for Tokayo Talks, right?
Hell yeah, bro.
So shall we put a card?
Hell yeah.
So if you weren't here last week, Tokayo Talks is where we pull a card from our little game called Let's Get Deep, and we answer it. And those for those who don't know, Tokayo is a person that shares the same name as you. So me and Miguel are Tokayos because they're both named Miguel. Oh, okay. He said too many words. How much do you consider and care about other people's opinions of you? Ooh, I have a good answer for you. But go ahead.
I think it depends on the day. You know, sometimes I'm good and I'm feeling myself. I'm like, I don't care. I'm gonna have a good day no matter what. Like, weird looks some fucking weirdo gives me, or some person gives me attitude, or somebody bumps into me for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
But other times I'm like, try me. I will, get aggressive for no reason, just because.
This is true.
This is true.
I actually I don't know.
But for the most part, it doesn't bother me too much.
Yeah.
Other people's opinions or whatever. I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
What about
Same.
you?
I used to care so much what people said about me. Like, it would consume me. Like, I would sit there and I would turn around, like, if I was in class and somebody was, like, snickering or, like, laughing or something, I would immediately be like, oh, they're talking about me. Like, it would just, like, pop into my head. Like, I was so self-centered. I was so, like, self-involved that everybody was, like, talking about me. Everybody was, like, thinking about me. Like, every time, like, everybody, like, I would walk. And it was so much insecurity that I had because, I don't know, I have always been, like, like a little chunky kid. I was, like, chunky and awkward, and, I was always the new kid, because I went to 12 different schools throughout my 12 years of high school. or 12 years of schools or
Or is
whatever.
it K-12? K-12?
Exactly.
Whatever
So
it's called, man.
So yeah, I used to care a lot, and then I saw a quote one day that said, "What other people think about you is none of your business," and it kind of just clicked, and it like just makes sense to me. Like yeah, people are always gonna talk. People are always gonna say stuff. And you're never gonna make everybody happy. Another quote that I like, that's always been in the back of my head is like, the only person that you're gonna be with from the day you're born to the day you die is yourself. So that's the only person that you should try to make happy. So ever since I saw that quote, what other people think about you is none of your business. I just
do what you want to do.
Yeah, I just do what I want to do, and I don't really. It doesn't bother me. I don't really care. I know people always have an opinion. People will always say something. Because I am a 6'3" queer brown, very at times flamboyant. Sometimes I'm, like I don't really care. And I honestly I like the attention. I like people talking about me. To be quite honest.
Yeah, kind of nice.
Yeah.
So fuck it.
Okay. I think that's it. That's
That's probably it, huh?
for this episode. I guess we'll see you guys next Thursday, or the Thursday after that, or the Thursday after that.
Right on. But it's for sure on a Thursday.
On a Thursday.
So you'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out. We'll post some Thursday.
On some Thursday.
On some Thursday.
Someday Thursday.
Someday Thursday. But
Okay.
thank you for joining us. Bye.
Hasta luego.
Hasta luego. Hasta Diego.
Hasta Diego.
San
San Diego.
Diego.